Hello, you're watching Togetherness Media live from Los Angeles. I'm Amir Lahijy. Good evening, maybe good morning, or good afternoon. Thank you. Honestly, first of all, I should say thank you for all of your support, for your messages, lovely messages, emails, on chat rooms, everywhere. I really appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. So, let's talk about a new topic. We are going to talk about new topic. Stay tuned with me. So today we are talking about uncertainty. Let's see who is here. Hello and welcome, Dr. Foojan Zeine. Hello.
Hello, nice to be with you and everyone who's watching us. Nice to be with you again.
It's pleasure. I'm so happy to see you, and I'm so happy to discuss about a new topic with you. So let's start.
So, the reason I suggested for us to talk about uncertainty is because I've really have watched this past week about how uncertain we are. What are the issues with, let's say, like COVID, right? COVID-19. Everything about it is still unknown. Like, I don't even know if I have it or not. But even if I do a test and I don't know if I'll have it tomorrow, right? So the future is always uncertain for us. I've worked with people in their relationship, and one day they think, my God, we're going to be together forever. And then 2 years later, they can't stand each other. And we're like, bye-bye, we're not going to be together. Mm-hmm. So, and then you have businesses which you've created this vision that you want it to be somewhere. And then 2 years later, 3 years later, you're like, I'm closing down the business. It's not going to work out. So you can look at the uncertainty that we consistently have to face, because the only thing that is certain is today and whatever I have. Like, I'm certain that I have my glasses here. I'm certain that I have my phone here. These are certainly, like, I'm in the house right now. I have my house, or I have my husband, or I have my dogs. And these are certain for me. But you never know. So one of the mottos that I've given is like, all is well until further notice, because you have no idea that the further notice what will bring. Another certainty is the past. The past is certain because we already had the results. We knew what happened, and we can't change it anymore. It's unchangeable. So what you can see, the certainty is in the past and what you have right now. Everything else in the future is uncertain for us. But we also have anxiety about the uncertainty of the future. So one of the things we do, we project the stuff that we had in the past to the future in order to maybe kind of create a guarantee or a map or a road about how to create certainty out of uncertainty. And that's a fallacy. Like, that just doesn't happen. That's not real. At every point, we don't know what the next moment is going to look like. We project, we think we do, we're going to do the same behaviors, hoping we're going to create the same results. Or we're going to do different behavior, hoping we're going to create different results. But we still have to face this concept that we just don't know, and how to deal with the concept of, I don't know, and I'm just going to walk or live at every moment knowing that I don't know. Many people are not comfortable with that, Amir.
Especially people, they didn't practice living the moment.
Yes. What's important is for us to, when we look at uncertainty, to come back to the present moment and look at what we have, who we are, and start enjoying. To look at what it is that we have, to not take it for granted, to actually appreciate it, what we have at every moment that we have it. And this allows us that we don't go into the anxiety. We actually go toward appreciation and gratitude. So that's one way to get out of that type of an anxiety of the future and be here. The second part would be to trust myself that, guess what? At every moment in life, life was uncertain the same way right now it's uncertain.
Exactly.
But past 58 years, I handled it. Even though it was uncertain every day for the next day, I still handled it. Some of the times very good. Some of the times I didn't handle it well, but I learned and I handled it well the next time that happened. And, so I trusting myself that if I've survived to be at any age, obviously I've had some skills to be able to pull through any of the uncertainty. And to know that whatever happens in the future, I can use the same skills. Or if I don't have it, it'll be an opportunity for me to learn new skills and move on and, survive it. And if I don't survive it, well, I'm dead anyway. Nobody cares. Or I don't care anymore because I don't have to go through the anxiety because I'm not here to go through it. But as long as I'm here and as long as I'm alive, I can rely on my skills that is pulling me through. And in that way, I can still deal with the uncertainty of it coming forward. And I don't have to sit in the anxiety of what if, what if, what if, what if, what if, and all the negative what ifs that we go through.
Exactly. And it's a channel. The name of the channel is What If. If every time I'm watching that What If, there is a lots of what if is coming. So
Yes.
let's talk about more keys. You already mentioned about the couple keys to deal with this situation.
Yes. Another one is, looking at what is the worst case scenario. So one is looking at the obstacles. And if these obstacles show up for me, how can I handle them? So I create a goal. This is where I want to get. And I can kind of foresee some of the obstacles that might happen based on my knowledge or based on watching what people went through. For example, when you were creating your television channel, you had a lot of years of experience in the media. And obviously, you had some ideas about some of the obstacles, and you had tried to figure out some, you tried to already take care of some. But I also know that after you took care of all the obstacles that you think you could, suddenly new ones showed up that you didn't even think of. Like
Yeah.
it just showed up. And
Lots
that's
of
the one
surprises.
kind of, right, like surprises that come, and that's the uncertainty. And guess what happened? You're still here. You're moving forward. Every
I'm
day you're
more
getting better.
stronger.
You're getting stronger. You're having more viewers. The viewers are telling you through feedback how grateful they are and how much they appreciate you. And you look at how did you do this? It's just by trusting yourself and getting the skills you needed, right? You got it. I don't have these series of skills. And I have to hire professionals. I have to go listen to these people. I have to let people do their job that they're expert at so that I can pass through these obstacles and move forward. That's another way to distinguish between what type of a skill I have and what is it that I don't have. And I might not have the time or the interest to go and learn all of those skills. And maybe I can be connecting and working and collaborating with other people who have these skills of whatever else is showing up for me. Another way, Amir, is to actually look at the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
Some people, when they look at worst case scenario, they stand right on the edge of the falling and they keep horrifying themselves. So what I say is, I'm going to push you so that you fall in your own mind, so that you go through the worst case scenario, not imagine the worst case scenario and stand right on the edge of it, because you're going to constantly get scared. Right. But when you walk through your imagination, you see that you will come up and learn in how to kind of like plan for it, or accept the worst case scenario. Or look at the skills that you actually do need to create the worst case, if something like that happens, to pull through. Yeah. And it gets you prepared for it, or you kind of like, accept it as is and move forward with it. So therefore, then you take the uncertainty of the future and kind of start planning it out in different versions of things, which brings you to a little bit of knowledge and foresight versus all of it be uncertain. But still, we can't fool ourselves. We know that we have no idea what's going to happen in the future. And that is okay. So it's almost like uncertainty is certain. And if you could come up with, it is certain that it's going to be uncertain. So I can accept that fact and open my arms and look at, I actually say that I invite it instead of fighting, instead of denying, instead of running away, to look at, ooh, something new. Ooh, I'm going to get excited. Ooh, I'm waiting to see what happens. And that way of being with the uncertainty and the future, it will get you kind of like in a space of excitement to move forward versus like the complacency of, I can't win this game. I'll never have a guarantee. It's never going to be good. And you're right. You're never going to win this game because it was always going to be unknown. The tomorrow could look like today, or it could completely look like something else. And that's where, we need to be with ourselves. Amir, I got two little Pomeranians.
Really?
I've had Pomeranian. I think you met Pashmak at one point where
Oh
my
yeah,
little
I
Pomeranian was.
had four in Iran, but
Yeah, yeah.
I never had it here. And
You
okay,
never had.
no, not here. Congrats, good. Which color it
Thank you.
is?
They're 10 weeks old. And it was funny because when I brought the first one, all was well. The second one showed up and has behavioral problems. The whole household, everything we imagined, all the joy that we had imagined is out because the behavior of this new one has created chaos even in the first one. So I was talking actually to my husband and I'm like, imagine that we had this amazing vision of the future with these two Pomeranians. And we're going through this experience and it's like nothing that we even imagined. And that's what I'm talking about is like knowing that it's okay. It's okay that
Yeah.
everything that I thought of, it's different. And then
Right.
thinking, okay, what am I going to do? I'm going to take him to trainer. I'm going to learn. I need new skills in order to handle this. And it's okay that if I can't handle it, it's okay to have the dog to be adopted by a family that can and make sure that they're in a loving place. And this becomes also another learning. So when you are open to, anything that is different than you ever thought of, and that there is no guarantee, I'm not saying you won't get upset. I'm just saying you won't get stuck. You look at things, you move through things, and then you keep coming back to being grateful and satisfied and fulfilled in your life.
But the good thing is, Dr. Zeine, this is the second time today you mentioned about planning. You made a plan, for example, find a trainer, and your attitude was positive. So you mentioned about knowledge, you mentioned about self-esteem, self-confidence, be positive, and all of these skills. You just said skills, but it's lots of things. We need be prepared. We need be more strong, and sometimes we need put the light in our dark spot, and then work on it. So you mentioned about Togetherness Media, and now I really love to mention and appreciate you and all of the doctors and experts. They trust me and they believe me and they start with me, from scratch, March 20, and every week we're moving forward. Lots of surprises happen, lots of things happen, but as you said, we should be positive, moving forward with the better planning and find out how can I handle, how can I deal with this situation.
Absolutely. And partly what I was telling my husband was, this is how we laughed. I said, it's funny, you make a full plan and then, life comes out and laughs at you and says, ha ha, you thought your plan was going to go forward. I'll show you what my plan is for you. And that's exactly what happened with with the second Pomeranian. So I'm also saying that we need to plan, obviously, because that's how we go forward. Or we're just going to go kind of like my Pomeranian, go around its own tail and not create anything. So the planning and the goal is great, but not being attached to the result. And if obstacles happen, if the scenario changes in the middle, the same way you experience, as you were going through the path, as you're going probably still every day, or I'm going through life in different versions of things. Or anyone who's watching us, I'm sure there are many, many times that you said, this is what's going to happen tomorrow, or this is what I'm going to have a goal, and everything changed the next day, and you were probably flabbergasted of, oh, now what? To be able to welcome it, to invite it, to appreciate even the obstacles that are showing up, that gives us the opportunity to learn and grow. Because remember, if we planned and everything went according to our plan, there's nothing new that we learned. We got what we wanted, which is amazing, and thank God that it's happening. And I'm appreciative and I'm grateful for it. But I'm also appreciative of the areas that have given me the opportunity to grow, because if those obstacles didn't show up, I wouldn't know how to grow. Mm-hmm. And if we look at the uncertainty as the opportunity to grow, then we would be fulfilled, because we will enjoy that type of a growth. And yes, growth sometimes have growing pain, and we've all experienced it. But again, if we are here, we survived it. We're here because we survived it. So it changes our attitude about it, and the way that we are. Instead of taking the negative attitude to taking and sucking our energy all day, where not only you're not going to grow, but even if you do, you associate that growth in a sense with pain. You don't associate that growth with love and joy and fulfillment. And I'm sure you've experienced people where they do go through growth, they do pass through all their hardships, but they stay a victim of the negativity of it, as if the world owed them something. It didn't come through. So although I passed, although I survived it, but you know what? I'm not going to let you forget how much I've suffered. I'm not going to let myself forget how much I've suffered. So I'm going to suffer for the rest of my life because of that growing pain. It's just not fair for you. Why should you go through that suffering constantly and ongoing? So that's where the attitude change is important.
Wow. Profoundly amazing. So, Dr. Zeine, in last 2 minutes.
I think that it's important when we look at life. I was talking to a client this morning, and he's a young guy, and he says, you know what I do? I consistently look at, what if I die tomorrow? And I look at my father, and he's older, and it's like, what if he dies tomorrow? And he said, maybe I'm looking like a very pessimist, but it actually helps me, because then I start enjoying my life now. And I said, yeah, this is not pessimism. Sometimes when we face loss, sometimes when we anticipate the loss and the death, and an experience that we have today will no longer be there, then we get alert. We come out of that deadness. We become alert of actually enjoying every minute that there is. So there was one guy who was on a death row. He was telling me that the guy came to see how he's doing, and he's looking at, come here, look at this butterfly. Oh my God, look at this beautiful flower. And it's like, well, we're talking about death, and you're talking about the beauty of life. And he says, exactly, because tomorrow, all of the things that are here are going to be taken away from me. I'm going to enjoy every minute of it. So enjoy every minute of it.
Amazing. And look at all these hearts people send it to. So during a week, we don't have time to talk together, Dr. Zeine, because you are super busy and our time is usually not match. But now is a good time to tell you, lots of people, lots of our viewers loving you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. I love you guys, and thank you for the opportunity to be together.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So, see you next time. Wow. Yes. I know you have the same feeling, and always I enjoy, talking with Dr. Zeine, and it's amazing. She is amazing. Stay tuned. We are going to have more music, international music, as you requested, and also we have more things. It's coming. Don't go anywhere. I'm here with you. Be with me. Thank you. Stay in touch.